They thought they had you figured out. They thought you were a book they had already read every page, every weakness, every fear highlighted in bright ink. They thought they knew exactly where you would break, exactly where you would beg, exactly where you would fall. So they pushed you there. They whispered doubt into your ears. They built walls around your dreams. They watched, waiting, anticipating the moment you would collapse under the weight they carefully designed for you. And for a moment, it looked like they were right. You stumbled. You questioned yourself. You stood in the middle of your own life, feeling like a stranger, like a story that had lost its meaning. But what they didn't realize, what they couldn't see, is that something was happening beneath the surface. Something quiet, something dangerous, something unstoppable. Because while they were busy reading the same old version of you, you started rewriting yourself. They expected you to react the way you always did. To chase. To explain. To prove your worth. To scream into the void. Just to be heard. They expected tears. They expected desperation. They expected you to stay predictable. Because predictable people are easy to control. But this time, something shifted. This time, you didn't respond. You didn't argue. You didn't defend. You didn't beg for understanding. You went silent, and that silence, it wasn't weakness. It was transformation. Because while they were waiting for your reaction, you were learning restraint. While they were watching for your breakdown, you were building control. While they were expecting chaos, you were mastering calm. And slowly, piece by piece, moment by moment, you became someone they could no longer read. It didn't happen overnight. No. Transformation like this, it's not loud in the beginning. It doesn't arrive with fireworks or applause. Begins in the dark. In the quiet moments, when no one is watching. In the sleepless nights where your thoughts echo louder than the world around you. In the moments when you feel like you're losing everything, but you're actually finding yourself. You sat with your pain, not running. Not hiding. Not numbing it away. You faced it. You looked directly into the storm and said, "Teach me." And it did. Pain became your teacher. Betrayal became your mirror. Silence became your weapon. You learned that not every battle needs to be fought. Not every word needs a response. Not every person deserves access to your energy. You started choosing yourself. And that was the beginning of everything. They noticed the change. Of course they did. How could they not? You weren't reacting the same. You weren't chasing the same things. You weren't easily triggered anymore. You became still. And stillness terrifies people who rely on chaos. They started asking questions. Why are you so quiet? Why don't you care anymore? What happened to you? But you didn't answer. Because how do you explain evolution to people who only understand repetition? How do you explain growth to people who are comfortable staying the same? You didn't. You let your actions speak. You let your silence echo louder than any explanation ever could. And that's when it hit them. They couldn't predict you anymore. Did they really think you would stay broken? Did they really believe the version of you they once controlled would last forever? No. They underestimated you. They mistook your kindness for weakness, your patience for passivity, your heart for something fragile. But what they didn't understand is this: you are never weak, you are just unguarded. And now you are aware. Now you are intentional. Now you are dangerous in the most peaceful way possible. Because you no longer react, you respond. You no longer chase. You attract. You no longer explain. You observe. And that shift changed everything. They started to feel it. That distance, that detachment, that energy they could no longer reach. You became like the ocean calm on the surface, but deep, vast, and untouchable beneath. And it scared them because they realized something they never expected. They lost access to you, not because you disappeared, but because you evolved beyond their reach. You stopped feeding their expectations. You stopped playing their games. You stopped being the version of yourself they were comfortable with. And in doing so, you took your power back. You began to rebuild yourself. Not for them, not for validation, not for approval, but for you. Every scar became a reminder of your strength. Every lesson became a tool. Every loss became a stepping stone. You started moving differently, speaking less, observing more, feeling deeply, but expressing wisely. You became intentional with your energy. You realized that not everyone deserves your vulnerability. Not everyone deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves to understand you. And that's when you became unreadable. Unreadable doesn't mean cold. It doesn't mean emotionless. That it means controlled. That it means disciplined. That it means you no longer wear your heart on your sleeve for anyone to analyze, manipulate, or misuse. It means you choose who gets to see your depth. It means you decide when to reveal your truth. It means you protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. And suddenly, they couldn't figure you out anymore. They tried. Oh, they tried. They tested you, pushed you, provoked you, waiting, hoping for the old version of you to come back. But it didn't, because that version served its purpose. It taught you. It shaped you. Prepared you. But it doesn't define you anymore. You move differently. Now, you think differently. Now, you are different. And no matter how hard they try, they can't access who you used to be. You became like fire, not wild and uncontrolled, but focused. Intentional. Powerful. You don't burn everything in your path, only what no longer belongs. You became like the night sky. Mysterious. Calm. Infinite. People look at you now and wonder, what are they thinking? What do they feel? Who are they becoming? And the truth is, they'll never fully know, because you stopped living for their understanding. You found something greater than revenge. Peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from silence, but the kind that comes from self-mastery. The kind that doesn't shake when others try to disturb it. The kind that doesn't break when tested. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. You realize something powerful. The greatest response is no response. The greatest strength is self-control. The greatest victory is becoming someone they can't manipulate anymore. And now, you walk into rooms differently. Not louder, but stronger. Not seeking attention, but commanding. Respect. Not trying to be seen, but impossible to ignore. Because there's something about you now, something they can feel, but can't define. It's your presence. It's your energy. It's your silence. And it speaks volumes. They watch you. Now, confused. Curious.